So, my Caribbean cousin, the Trump administration announced on Monday they're willing to offer immigrants who are living in the U.S. illegally $1,000 spending money, a free plane ride back to their country once they decide to sign up to self-deport from America. My Caribbean cousin, if I was an illegal immigrant living in the U.S., I will go home on my own. The reason why I say that, because once you sign up for that program, you cannot come back in America. And once you arrive home, it's a different story. I'm not telling all you what to do, but if that was me, I will not take that bait. My Caribbean cousin, go home on your own.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like and also comment. To my returning viewers, thank you so much for always coming back and watch my video. So guys, in today's video is about Jamaicans living in United States. Black American and Jamaicans are forced to leave United States because of the bad policies and the system that were designed in United States. So in today's video is a combination of video. Majorities of black people, they have come out and really say why they want to leave United States. So guys, let's all watch this video and at the end then I come back with more comment.
The craziest thing about America right now is that, like, the world actually hates us. The entire world hates us. And they've already kind of hated us, but now they like outwardly hate us. Everybody we used to do trade with, all of our allies, the global economy literally hates America. And a lot of these Trump supporters who are still delusional enough to support him, even after he's defunded their child's education, taken their farms away, ruined their veterans' benefits, affected their Social Security, rolled back their constitutional right to freedom of speech and freedom of press, greatly infringed upon due process for anybody who sets foot on American soil, depleted their tourist economy as well as red state export economies. You know, even after all of that, there's these people who still support him and think that he's doing a good job and don't understand that not only is he globally hated and ruining their lives, people think he's a joke. Nobody's scared of him. His Secretary of Defense is Hegseth, who literally texts his wife on an unsecured line after being provided one by the Pentagon. His launch plans for their attacks in the middle, like, guys, we're literally a joke. We are globally a joke. And like, you know, the people who don't support him know that his supporters are usually bottom of the barrel, low end of the gene pool. They're the curve that puts us at a 5th grade reading comprehension level. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know in America and the rest of the world for the most part is being far more generous and kind than they should by specifically targeting import export to red states. But contrary, I don't think you guys get it. Nobody is afraid of Donald Trump. Nobody is actually afraid of him, except the brown people with visas and green cards being sent to concentration camps in El Salvador. On a global scale, he doesn't, him and his Secretary of Defense don't have the mental wherewithal to win a war, even if they decided to start one. But now he's backpedaling on trade wars, on actual plans for war. Nobody is afraid of this man. Do you understand that we would get dog walked if they decided to, for whatever reason, bring in an attack to American soil? We do not have competent leaders. Nobody is afraid of Donald Trump. Everybody on a global scale is banding together to make him completely relevant, which they've already done. But even if he did decide to start a war, you think an 80-year-old throwing a global trade temper tantrum, who has his Secretary of Defense, who was a news anchor prior, texting his wife launch plans, his personal attorney, an international journalist, you think the world is afraid of America?
So my biggest struggle as an immigrant was finding a permanent home, because as them take me in and me get comfortable, I saw them put me out. So my living situation had gotten bad, and I had met a lady in the Bronx, and my mom asked her to put me up. So she offered to put me up, and she was so nice initially. So she brought me to a wedding. She brought me out to a restaurant. She brought me shopping at Marshall's to get some nice classic clothes. And I'm like, yeah, things are looking out. Yes, I'm excited. And that changed quickly because this woman had me as her personal housekeeper. So when I get home from school, I'd have dishes piled up from morning till night. She wanted the stove clean and the fridge clean every day. Her figurines were dusty because she's not the type to clean, and I had to be doing it. Every 2 weeks, I had to do her laundry, her husband's laundry, her 15-year-old son's laundry, and they wanted it folded a specific way. Then she wanted her bathroom clean every other day, and her son used to poop in the toilet and leave some stain, and they want to put it off on me. And I'm letting her know it's not me, and she dismissed me like I'm not telling the truth. So my friends used to ask me like, Britt, how's it going? And to keep saying, I had to tell them it was going good because I didn't want them to highlight what I was going through, and I had to come to reality with it. And then I break down because I had nowhere else to go. Because when I call my dad, I'm like, I need somewhere to live. He's like, I'm gonna let you feel what America is like. So all of that continued. She had me showering her dog and then blow drying him, putting on his little boots to take him walking out in the Bronx. And then it's as if her husband felt some type of way. He felt guilty, and he started speaking up on my behalf. And that woman lashed out and started treating me even worse. So one day he asked me to go buy something on the street for him, and he gave me like $50. I came back, I gave him his change, and he gave me $20. She saw that he gave me $20. So I was like excited that he gave me $20 because I'm like, yes, I have money for the week to buy lunch. So when I went into the room to put up the money, she's like, where's that money that he gave you? That was a mistake. He didn't mean to give you that. That woman took that $20 and gave me $2 instead. And I'm like, my heart just sank because I'm like, damn.
Now, I know y'all love some good gossip and some tea. So I'm going to give y'all some. I hear the word on the street is that the new American dream is actually to leave America. Because why do I want to stay in a place where I'm not welcome? And so I posted something on Threads yesterday, and folks was all on my comment section talking about something. We need to fight. Fuck a fight. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm exhausted. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to live in peace. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to just be surviving. I want to thrive. I don't want to have to go to the emergency room or go to the doctor and then be left with a $2,500 bill wondering how I'm going to pay it. I don't want to pay a $500 electric bill no more. I don't want to pay a $350 water bill no more. No, I want to live in peace. I don't want to eat food that's manufactured in a lab. I want to eat watermelons with seeds. I don't want to eat food that's from bioengineered ingredients filled with all these pesticides and antibiotics. I don't want that. I want to live in peace. I'm tired of fighting.
This is my message to all Americans, everybody that lives in the UK or any other former colonist country. Wherever these countries are heading, you do not want to be a part of. These countries were built on demonic, criminal, traumatic, and let me say that word again, demonic things. And the chickens are coming home to roost. It's not going to happen, it's already happening. These countries are going to burn, they're going to flood, they're going to implode on themselves, they're going to blow away. The chickens are coming home to roost. You don't want to be a part of this. Do your research, understand what's going on. If your local media is not bringing you the information of what really is going on in these countries, do your research. You do not want to be a part of where these countries are heading. Nothing that starts bad can end good. That's what's happening. The universe has its own justice system, and justice is coming for these countries. Your only job now is to find an action plan to get out. There are countries, for example, like Ghana, that are accepting Pan-Africans for full citizenship, no strings attached. Find an action plan to leave. You do not want to be there when what's going to go down starts to happen. It already started. Don't come in my comments and say, I can't do this, this is impossible, I have commitments, I have house, work, job, children. If I can do it, I've moved 2 countries as a single parent with 2 children, 2 continents, sorry. I've moved 2 continents on my own with 2 children. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I said what I said, take heed. You do not want to be a part of these countries when the shit hits the fan. You don't. You feel it. When you wake up in the morning, you feel the energy of death. You feel your energy being sucked out of you in these countries. They were built on demonic, horrible things. And I know since I was a child, nothing that starts bad can ever end good. The chickens are coming home to roost. They're here. Find a way to get out. You don't want to be a part of this trauma that's coming down on these countries. Nothing is going good for these countries. Do some comparisons. What's going on with the countries that were never former colonists, how they are being built up and bringing their people up, and what's going on with former colonist countries, how they're being broken down and their people are being broken down mentally, physically, energetically. It's over. I said what I said. Do your research. Find a way to leave these countries.
Yo, maybe think a joke. They maybe thought this as a joke, but a serious pussy clot. Let me tell you something. Yo, nobody in there Florida. Every fucking body gone from Florida, brother. The road empty your fuck. Store empty. Every fucking thing empty. Parking lot empty. Bruh. I don't know what to tell us. This, nobody now turn up for work. But what I realize, you see Florida, a lot of immigrants there. A lot of people are there. A lot of people there when you have them papers and them work your fuck. But I blame them to you. I blame them to you. Fuck, because I show you things. Them people are there for so fucking long. Bruh, them people are there a long time energy. And the man they could have straightened out their fucking self. The man they could have straightened out their fucking self, brother. But yo, you see, that's why I tell a man, say, yo, sometimes you can't make blood clot party and girl take your money in a dog. First thing you come and say you have blood clot, you have to make sure you say your thing alright, my G. You have to make sure you say yourself alright, because if you not alright, no blood clot body can't alright. And you have some people want to put them first before you, but you can't work that way, my G. You have to make sure you say, yo, you good at all fucking time. Because right now you have to run up and blood clot down and a duck from the man and a duck from Mr. One. You see me I come from? Brother car, which is if you do blood clot, organize yourself. You're not alright, but no. Back up on table, hype this out, this, that, car rental. Yo, brother, I don't like it, brother. Me not bumbo clot with Jice, but me not like it, G. Me not like it. That's why I tell the man them say that when I have to take care of the blood clot self, G. Take care of the fucking self. Cause watch out. Orange man come in and go on in fuckery. You see me? Boy, me not like it, dog. Me not like it. Yo, man work too fucking hard, G. For him to keep up in fuckery, brother. You mean if you cut the fuckery. And the next thing again, blood clot, Walmart, them, yeah, be a fucker I go on, G.
Who go down a yard and not tell them this? I will up a little news me I get and see some stuff. Like for example, the other day, 2.2 million people from America gone to Mexico. Jamaica have 2.8 something million, you know. So it close to the amount of people who live in a Jamaica approximately. We move out of the US, Ghana, Mexico, gonna live. And what go on? Them say the dream not about again. Them say the American dream not about again, and so them pack up them stuff and then Ghana, Mexico, gonna live. Jamaica have 2.8 something million and 2.2 million Ghana, Mexico. Me have to do the research myself. So it's like the whole of Jamaica just lift up and just left the whole place. And just a little bit left. And a couple were left and not much. 2.2 million Ghana, Mexico. And then on top of it, I can't even left this out. I hear them and say, nothing now coming to the US, no food now coming, no container, shelf I get empty. Jesus. You don't never know.
Is the new American dream just to leave America? Yahoo Finance thinks so. The new American dream is to leave. Most US citizens don't believe hard work will get you ahead. Everyone knows by now it takes way more than just hard work to get ahead, and no one knows that better than us millennials. According to the Association of American Residents Overseas, 5.4 million Americans are expats. They want to live in a place where they don't need 2 or 3 jobs to just survive. Post-pandemic inflation has messed everything up. Everyone is more so worried about paying rent this month rather than long-term goals. So what's the option? But this Axios article really caught my attention. The American dream for some is leaving the US. Thanks to social media giving us a window into the lives of those who have been brave enough to leave, the rise of people applying for European visas has gone up since 2020. And a lot of countries offer digital nomad visas, which I've covered on my page: Japan, South Korea, Costa Rica. But I love this. This couple in their 50s said that they have been aging in reverse since leaving the American toxic hamster wheel. Like straight from the horse's mouth. So I want to know, what's your controversial opinion about leaving the United States? Let me know in the comments. This is a topic I've been all about.
Americans are leaving the USA because they can't afford America anymore, making $100,000 a year, yet they feel suffocated financially because the price of things keep going up. They keep printing money and the wages ain't going up, all right? Matter of fact, there's job loss and there's cuts and all kinds of stuff going on. So once people leave that kind of environment and they go somewhere else and they realize life is supposed to be lived, it's supposed to be simple, it's supposed to be much more about enjoying your health and your family and your loved ones and your purpose and all of these things, rather than spending most of your life at work. What kind of a freaking life is it if you don't do what you love? If you do what you love, cool, man, knock yourself out. I do what I love. Most people, 80-something%, don't do what they love. They don't like their job, and if they didn't have to work their job, they wouldn't work their job. So I know if you watch this far, it's speaking to you. Maybe this is the sign you need to start doing some research to learn how to begin to devise your escape plan and live a better life. Because you know what? If what you're doing is not working, continuing to do the same thing, they call that insanity. You might want to book that flight. See you soon.
As Americans, we work way too hard. I've been traveling and been here in Belize for the last couple days. And here's what I realized from and learned from people in other countries, that they work smarter and not harder. If you own a little shack on the side of the road selling oxtails and jerk chicken, guess what? You're not bringing all of this meat because you know it might spoil. You bring in just enough so that you can get through the day. And once you sell out, you sell out. You going and you relaxing by the beach for the rest of the day. Americans, we want to work.
So in America, lots of us work multiple jobs, and you have to because the cost of living is so high. So we're constantly trying to climb the corporate ladder, constantly trying to get higher paying jobs. And I'm speaking for that myself. I tried to climb the corporate ladder for the last 10 and 12 years, and you're always grinding and pushing. But I noticed here in Belize, it's not that way. People make just what they need, and that's all they need to live, and no one's overstressed, working multiple jobs. They're enjoying their life.
And I really think that we need to ask ourselves, like, why, as a culture, do we think having more is actually better? I'm guilty of this too, right? I'm so guilty. My family is guilty of it. My husband is guilty of it. But one of the things that I have learned by traveling so much is that people actually live below their means. Oftentimes in America, we live higher than our means, right? We got all this debt, we got a car payment, we got this big fancy house, and nothing is wrong with that. But what I'm saying is traveling so much has really opened my eyes to, I've been doing it all wrong since I've been alive. Like we just been working, struggling, and for what? To pay into the Social Security system that might not be even available when I get to be the age of 65? That's a whole nother subject. Listen, y'all, however you can obtain living your best life, I encourage you to go after it. Go after that happiness. And if you can travel the world so that you can start to see how other people live in the world. I'm not saying that you have to move out of the country, right? But if you choose to, know that you're ultimately going to live a better life outside of the United States because it's a different type of culture. People want to relax. People don't look at their job as actually a job. People look at their job. I spoke to someone yesterday. He said it's just them being on vacation. They're making money, taking advantage of the tourists, right? Because they're getting the tourist money. So if they feel like they want to open up their shops at 3 p.m. and close down their shops at 7 p.m. because they already made their money and now they have the rest of the night to socialize and dance and have a great time, that's what they're doing in other countries. Something to think about. They're not working until they die and then don't have anything to show for it. But 50 and 60 years of working, you can't travel because you live in paycheck to paycheck. You can't see the world because you can't get the time off and you're afraid of what your boss gonna do. It's just all toxic. Something to think about.
If you're in Florida, you're undocumented, you need to listen up now. We all know that the immigration bill passed, right? And they are waiting, I should think, for July the 1st for this bill to take effect. You understand? But now they ain't waiting no more. The bill been signed, the bill been passed. But what they're doing, they're out in their numbers now. From Friday till now, the amount of text, the amount of voice note me hear. This morning I woke up to persons drawing my attention to my WhatsApp group only to go over there for hear voice note. Persons in the moment being detained, sending voice note out to me, don't know if them family or friends. It so happened that, you know, they shared it in the group, sure, with their consent, of course, just warning people to be careful. The amount of people get picked up already, as I said from Friday, I was here on my live a couple days ago, persons in the live sharing that the friends get detained, family, persons where them don't know them say eyes border patrol out in them numbers. A person once say they see border patrol at the airport taking photos of persons, they don't know why. They see border patrol at the Jamaican restaurant over in Florida. Now I woke up to the horrible voice notes this morning of persons in the process being detained, sharing what is going on. Them a line up. She was describing me, talking my body full of cold bump. I literally cried this morning. I reach out to somebody in the group and she'll tell me what's going on. Guys, they ain't waiting for July the 1st. They're doing it now. They started. If you plan for leave now. Because them now wait. One of the voice note me listened just a while ago again, the lady say, them say them are going to start go from door to door. And I think based on how she said she hear this out of the officer mouth directly. They were detained, they were processed, and they don't come through the border. Them say if you come through the border, it's worse for you, but they're talking about persons who come on a visitor visa and look at the bus, them come picking up on a hotel or the place where them going to stay and go dropping off at the local work want to do. You understand where the agency have the bus them come pick up. The man them know the bus them live at Florida from the yard there. They know the transportation you guys take, and they lay with the transportation and take the people them off of the bus. Detain them one by one. They get released. But you feel like all is well because they get released. It's not. Because they get released to report to the court. They call it what, the PCP area. I don't know which part that's in Florida, the Panama area, this I guess. So I'm saying, if you want to leave, no matter wait. Persons are there, if it because on the sign a lease and the lease officer want to pay a whack of money before you leave. When have a little lease, the son no want to leave because the lease officer have to pay a whack of money in order to leave. Leave, still pay the lease, empty out the place, in the work you going down. One person already gone down, she self-deported herself. But do you have anything back home to go home to? They're out in their numbers. No.
I want to thank the Prime Minister for receiving and welcoming home the Jamaicans who have been deported from the United States of America. This is your right to land, and it is with great pleasure that we welcome you back home, right? But can we build on the Prime Minister's speech though, and can we open the discussion as to why these persons had left Jamaica in the first place? I imagine it must have been a difficult decision to get up and to leave your children, your partners, your families. Some of you leave ill parents behind in search of better opportunities that are not existing in today's society and not existing in Jamaica. And so you had to go all over the globe in search of making these dreams that you have become reality. And that opens the discussion as to the gaps that exist in Jamaica that we need to bridge as a people to make Jamaica the place that our Jamaicans can live, raise their families, do business, and enjoy. Amongst many of these persons are lawyers, doctors, teachers, laborers, regular Jamaican brothers and sisters who are out there trying to find a better life. And so it's important for us, and for us to challenge our government, because we're paying a very hefty price for governance. So we have to challenge our government to see all the things that they need to do to ensure that we, the regular Jamaicans, get to enjoy and to live in Jamaica, right? Also, another thing that we need to table, and is a challenge to the Prime Minister and to our government. How are we going to welcome these persons home? And what measures are we going to put in place to ensure that these persons are reintegrated into society? I mean, some of them are coming out with little to nothing, and they need the support of their government and their people in order to reintegrate into this society. So I think what we need to do is to build a little committee around this and to plan for the systems and the measures and the assistance that can be given to these individuals to ensure that they become, productive members of society. Because don't get me wrong, these people, a lot of them are very hardworking, ambitious people, and so it's important for us to ensure that we have the plans and the measures in place to reintegrate them into society and to ensure that, they can become productive members of the Jamaican society. Welcome home, and we challenge you, our government.
Leaving my home country was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I'm talking mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Putting yourselves in different cultures is just so eye-opening. Like when you see how people are living in other parts of the world, it forces you to realize what we take for granted back home and what we put too much value on back home. In the US, all we think about is money and other toxic things like status and clout. Making money is very important in today's world, but it's just a piece of the pie. Life is truly just a balance of health, relationships, finances, and enjoyment or entertainment. And I felt like in the US, I was forced to basically abandon my health relationships, enjoyment just to get in a good financial position. And living abroad truly helped me fix my life balancing issues, giving me more time for what truly matters. So if you can relate to how I felt back when I was living in the US, let this be a sign to get out and travel more. You can always make more money, but you can never get your time back.
Disadvantage of living in America. Number one is cost of living. Cost of living is very high. House rent, high. I know we earn a lot here. We earn in dollars and all that, but it's high. You might be earning $3,000 in 2 weeks or $1,000 in 2 weeks. Your house rent might be $2,000 or your house rent in a month might be $4,000. It depends on when you want to live, but cost of living is high, food is expensive, and they're not good food. Let's not even go there. Okay, cost of living is high, everything is high here. Transportation, Uber. Don't even go to Uber. Don't use Uber when you come to USA. Don't ever use bus. It's high, it's expensive. It's very expensive. Okay, number two. Number two disadvantage is healthcare is expensive too. The cost of healthcare is high. You go to the hospital for one thing, maybe for check-up. In fact, before you even go to the hospital, you need to make a reservation. It's not like Nigeria where you can just walk into a hospital like that. If you walk into a hospital, they will charge you for emergency. Hey, and you don't want to know that emergency price, my dear, it's high. If you go to the pharmacy, CVS or anywhere to buy drugs, high. Okay, so number three disadvantage is social issue. Okay, so I mentioned this in my previous video, but somebody was attacking me. I mean it. Nobody send anybody papa for here. They don't care. Even blacks, even your fellow black, they don't care. See, we care for ourselves so much in Africa or in Nigeria more than this country. I promise you, in the USA, I no go talk too much on this one. Nobody send you. If you like, they die for your apartment. They go to see a movie, they shout. They don't go come. Oh. Nobody go come for your rescue. Okay, so number four. What is number four? Number four is the fact that food is not real here. I know the way we eat organic in Nigeria, chicken, organic. In fact, the chicken say we rear for house. They're not organic food here. Okay, some are organic, but the ones that are organic very expensive, and then the ones that are not organic are cheap because they're not good food. That's why everybody is sick here. I will not say too much on that one. Then number five disadvantage is the weather. Oh my god, it's good if you get used to it, but if you're just coming winter, as I'm speaking to you, the weather here, I'm so cold. I know in Nigeria we don't have, we have a Harmattan.
Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you have watched that video very well and feel emotional how our brothers and sisters are crying in United States because American dream is dead. This is what I can tell you, because majority of people, they really think that their dream is in America, but the dream is really falling. And if you are in abroad, let's comment in the comment section how life is there, because people are being forced to leave United States because of the bad policies. Recently, Donald Trump came out and suspended all the green card lottery, so nobody is allowed to go to United States. And this is some of things that have been advocating by the African leaders, some of the African leaders, to develop our continent to avoid this suffering of our brothers and sisters in United States and other countries, because most of them are in tears, in pain, and they are talking the reality. It's not about the content, it's about the reality, what is happening in United States, because you can't compare the life in United States and here in Africa. Number one, those people are complaining about the high cost of living. In the United States, the highest cost of living is so expensive compared to we in Africa, because you pay a lot of bills like medical bills, car bills, transport bills. You can't even escape it because the system has been developed. It really can't direct. You can't avoid to pay those bills. So it has the high cost of living. Imagine you are earning a money and that money is not helping you, and that's why you'll find that maybe to cope with that high cost of living, you must work an extra job, because you'll find most of them work for 3 or 4 jobs to cope up with those cost of living. And having working that job, you are being, most of the black people normally paid the low wages and salaries. As the high cost of living goes high, the low wages may be decreased, so you cannot afford to cope with that high cost of living in United States. And in Africa, you can find that you can just cope with it because it's our country, our continent, and it's our Caribbean. So you can really fast cope with this because, number one, in the United States, food is so expensive because you can't find the organic food. The organic food is here only in Jamaica and Caribbean and Africa, but in United States you can't afford because the food is so expensive, and you can just purchase a food with low prices, but when you want an organic food, it's so expensive to get it. But here in Africa, you can just get it for free, that organic food, because it comes direct from the farm. And that is what is now happening. And another thing that is making people to be hard is about Trump policy. IC agents are deporting people, the immigrant who have been lived in United States for so long, because most of them, they have born there, their parents have been raised there. And I remembered Donald Trump coming out and say, no, United States is not made for the black color. Black color must go back to their country. And that's why Trump is fighting for the black color. And that's why he has suspended the lottery green card. So nobody is allowed to enter in United States. And for those who are in there, they are being forced out because of the IC agent detecting detention. And this is what is, and most of these black people are working in their farms, because you will find that the Admarka farmers and also Nebraska, they didn't those were depending on the black people. But now it has reached a time that the Trump, they are deporting these black people, and sometimes they will have their consequences, because as we in Africa and Caribbean, we welcome our brothers and sisters coming back to our country. And another thing is overtaxation. A lot of people are paying so many tax. United States has imposed more tax compared to the white people, because they are paying more taxes, and that's why the life has been so hard for them, and that's why they are crying to come back home to be welcome. Because when you go to abroad, you expect doing something, but in return, when you don't get what you went to, it's better you coming back home. And that's what now happening. Because of the deportation, mass deportation is really going through in United States. People are being deported day and night, and some of them are being detained by the IC agent, and that's why most of them, they are being self-deported. So if you are in United States, if you are a migrant or you are not feeling unwell, home is best. Welcome back to Jamaica. Come to Africa. We will really love to reunion with our brothers and sisters who are just taken from here in our motherland, because most of them were taken in Africa by the white people, but they have lived their life fully in United States. and those are the citizens of the United States. By the administration of this man is not really favoring them. This administration is killing so many Africans, dealing so many black people, and that's why they were detained. They want to come back home. So those people, even this video, those they are complaining about, because some of them they have lived in different areas, like, but it's so in Brazil and other countries, but you cannot afford, you can't compare. United States is, dream is dead. That is how I can tell you. So guys, as I conclude, I know that Africa, we have the resources. Africa is the richest continent in the world. Caribbean, black countries, the richest people in the world. But these white people, they normally wants to depend on us through taking out our resources. It's now the high time as the black people to united, as the Caribbean to united, to have one currency, one president, and also protecting our resources, as our leaders like Ibrahim Traore and so many people are advocating to remove cowardness, so that our brothers and sisters must come back home, stay home. We create our own job so that they can really enjoy their life, rather than going in foreign countries looking for the, what we call it, clean pasture, but in returns they are coming wild, crying. Thank you so much for watching me. I'm your host, Team Taste Reaction, and hope you had a good Christmas. Merry Christmas. See you in the next video.